May the 11th and check to see if there's any business that needs to be transacted for that particular meeting. Seeing none, that meeting is adjourned. I'd like to call to order our May the 25th, 2023 meeting. Mr. Liberto, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Adams.
Here.
Commissioner Knight.
Here.
Commissioner Scales. Commissioner Tyson. Commissioner Stevens.
I'm here, thank you. Invitations today is by in District 4. Commissioner Knight, would like to introduce?
Yes, we have with us Pastor Johnny Roberts, pastor of Walker's Chapel Baptist Church in Fultondale, and we certainly thank you for coming. We know it's short notice, but we appreciate, a man of God is always on call. So, sir, you'll just lead us in prayer.
Let us pray. Father God Almighty, we love you. We thank you for your love for us. God, you are a great God. Lord, I thank you for this commission. I thank you for the employees here. I pray, God, that you will just bless each and every one of them. I pray, God, that today you will give them discernment and wisdom. It will be godly wisdom. And I pray, God, you will bless them. You will have favor upon them today at their meeting. I pray that you will take them and anoint them, give them special favor. I pray you also protect them, protect all the employees and their families. I pray you too, God, when you will take this commission, you will take them and you will let them be a godly influence in this community. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner, before you have the minutes from May the 11th that were properly presented and we had a chance to be vetted in Tuesday meeting.
I'll move to suspend the meeting and minutes and approve as presented.
Second. Well, motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have no presentation today. We have a public hearing, economic development. Commissioner Adams.
Yes, sir. Last one. But I'm going to call on Jeff Treywick, who is our new economic development person, to present Project Cumulus, like he did in committee the other day.
In 25 words or less.
Sectoral Salt is a Sectoral Salt is a existing company here in the downtown Birmingham area, currently located in a salt blending spot within Innovation Depot. The company has facilities here and in Cincinnati, Ohio. Currently exploring the opportunity to expand their existing Birmingham operations within the county, add 50 jobs at an average wage of $90,000 per year. They are asking for some assistance with their expansion and relocation to the Next Tech building, which would be a job-based, performance-based grant of $159,000 to be paid after they create and maintain jobs. The agreement calls for clawbacks in case they don't hold up their end of the deal. And we've also been provided a cost-benefit analysis that is run by Birmingham Business Alliance. We've reviewed that analysis and believe that it is accurate and some degree conservative on its estimates on future county revenue. If anybody else has any questions, be happy to answer those.
Thank you, Jeff. I'd like to open a public hearing at this time concerning this economic development agreement and jobs incentives. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor of or in opposition to this particular economic development? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Second. Item been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much.
Mr. Trey.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Still, Roberto, I've been advised to abstain on those for my abilities in my future role, so just for the record, I'll make sure.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Trey, anything else coming from the VBA from here for us, would you double check and scrutinize?
Don't do that.
I felt all the love with that.
Who seconded? All right, we need another second on that. Millie, who do you have that made the motion second?
Commissioner Knight made the motion and Commissioner Emmons seconded.
All right, would you second it? All right, Commissioner Tyson will second that. Commissioners, you have, 53 items of business, one which, item number 53 needs to be pulled, and the item of new business needs to be pulled. The chair will accept is there any other items besides that we need to pull for second consideration?
Commissioner, looks like we've received an item of new business authorizing the execution of an agreement with the Alabama Department of Corrections and Sheriff's Office. We just received this as an MOU and feel that is necessary for the Sheriff's Office folks to work in conjunction with the Department of Corrections. Just received it a minute ago, but I think it's time sensitive for the sheriff.
Is this what they sent in for that grant? Is that what we?
No, this is.
Let's see.
Those are unanimous consent.
Yeah, that's.
So I'll move items 1 through 52, withholding item 53 and another new item.
All right, I have a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that's it. Is that? All right, so we have,
Mr. President,
let's do what we have in order here. We have Alabama Department of Corrections, contraband interdiction drive.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
I'm listening.
Sorry, I passed. Item number 53.
It's full.
I could say,
Okay, sure.
okay. Is it possible that we can just, a county attorney, if we can seek to, delete one of the projects and proceed forward? Anything that will prevent that from happening?
Sorry.
On item 53,
I was trying to do this.
that's okay.
What's
Item-
53?
Item 53, I'm trying to figure out if perhaps, because that would just really be amendment to the agreement. And so if one of them that are in question, if it can be deleted, is it permissible for us to move forward with the other two that can be supported at this time?
Which I guess I don't understand which question.
Well, okay.
It's
so-
been pulled, is that?
Well, I'm asking, Mr. President, if you would reconsider your position, and I was saying that if, to my understanding, one of them that are in question, if it could be deleted, and then therefore we can move forward.
They wanted to, it's a third. We need unanimous consent. And Amnesty can't vote on it from what they just told me.
Well,
And they needed to add another one, and they don't have a contract.
okay, so are we saying that, because I thought from the email that one of the advisory pieces that the paperwork was in order. And so I'm talking about item number 53, Mr. County Attorney. So what I was saying, Mr. President, if possible, if you don't mind, that if those two, because I don't think Hammond's abstention is neither here nor there, if the item is already on the agenda, then he's just abstaining, but you still have four voting members. So that's the only reason why I asked, Mr. President, if we could reconsider leaving that item on the agenda, if that's okay. So
So I
that
think
is-
it is,
what- And it appears as though it doesn't have to be an item of new business, since this is a carryover from April 6th.
Commissioner, I requested that it be pulled and there needs to be further consideration, so
Okay,
I
well,
would appreciate it if it was.
well, Commissioner, you know, I'm being very honest with you, but as nicely as I can say this, but, you are moving on now, and all of us are supportive of you doing that. And it seems as though one of the contracts that has been in question has been in question for years now. I'm trying to figure out why we, if you are abstaining, then at this point, I don't think it's a matter of even you having to deal with the item at all. I was just asking, Mr. President, since seemingly the other two are in order, if we could proceed.
County Attorney, this item has been pulled and vote of the body. So to come back up, you just need to have unanimous consent.
It have to be, so one of the moving parties would have to move to have that reconsidered.
Right, so since I was.
Anybody move to reconsider?
I move to reconsider, Mr. President, because I am on the affirmative side of the vote, so,
All right.
I'm asking, Mr. President, if you don't mind.
Chair has a motion to reconsider. Do we have a second?
It's your item, Commissioner Tyson.
Let me ask a question, this is what I'm trying to get a full understanding. It's with file number 106655, is new business. This is what we need to add to the agenda. But it needs to be added with item 53. You know what?
So what I'm saying,
Let me see if I can.
in other words,
Two
one of
separate-
the, hold on, Ms. County Attorney, I'll tell you exactly what I'm trying to do. So in other words, without calling the name of the entity, if the contract that is to be amended to this item, if that can be substituted for the item that needs to be deleted. That's what I'm asking for, Mr. President. That's what I'm asking the county attorney.
Right, so I'm not aware of an item that needs to be amended. What I'm aware of that just came to the floor is that there was an item that was on the agenda that was pulled, and that was going to be pulled. There was an item of new business that was discussed, but has not been advanced, so that's not been before the body at all. The item of new business before the body now is an MOU with the Sheriff's Office to allow his folks to work interdiction. So the only thing that's before you as new business is the Sheriff's Department's item of new business is an MOU. So the only thing that you all have considered or not considered is item 54, and that was voted on to be pulled. So it's that to.
And she asked for reconsideration, made that motion to reconsider the item, the number 53 that was pulled in order to amend it, and she's waiting for a second on that right now.
So it first has to be voted on to get placed back on the agenda. And then once it's placed back on, then if there's another motion to amend it, then that.
Of course.
Let me say this. We had a item of new business, which I have is file 10655, which you have not. You said disregard one of the items of new business, and that's one of them. And then the other one was added with the resource center for the sheriff department. I meant with the item of new business for the sheriff department, right? So we wanted to put 10655 as new business, but we disregarded that once they pulled off 53. So if you're gonna add 50, if we're gonna do anything with 53, this file 10655 needs to be added as new business.
Okay, so what you all would do, all that would be separately done. So the first thing that have to happen is that to consider the item that's been pulled, it have the prevailing side of the votes, the majority that asked for it to be pulled, would have to be reconsidered and voted on. And if it's placed back on the agenda. Then subsequently, if there was another motion for new business for an additional item, then they're separate in terms of actions to be taken.
County
So
attorney.
after you get whatever the disposition is of the item that's being reconsidered, if it is brought up or not, that's one separate order of business. And then the items of new business are separate, so they're all separate votes.
Mr. President, please, Mr. County Attorney, this is what I'm asking, so that everyone on the dais understands what I'm asking. We have item 53. We have one, which is Innovation Depot. I'm gonna just say it now because it seems like we don't have no understanding. Innovation Depot. We have Next Tech, okay? This is a carryover from April 6th, all right? My question is, since I was on the affirmative side of the vote, if this item could be entertained with the understanding that Innovation Depot would remain, the item Next Tech would be deleted. In its place would become BBRCO, Birmingham Business Resource Center, so that the item could move forward. That's what I'm asking if we could do. Because it would seem to me that's all that needs to be amended. You have, from what I'm seeing now, there is a contract that is here before us. And so I'm just asking if this body would entertain it, then we can proceed forward. Am I correct?
I understand, and what I'm hearing is, it's still gonna require those separate votes that the county attorney spoke of.
Before we can do anything, the first thing has to happen is that item has to be reconsidered and brought back on the agenda. And then it's my understanding, at least you want to substitute
One for the other.
Can I ask you a question, Mason? Does this?
But aren't you abstaining? I'm trying to figure out why.
I'm just trying to give some clarity to it.
I don't know what
to see
clarity
whether
that
this
you
is
would
a
need if you
possibility
want
or
to
not.
abstain on this
So-
item. I don't understand that.
Mr. Lawson, would this require another 772 advertising? Spending public dollars for
Well, first of all, this
public
is,
purpose, which would require 772, which a new contract would require the new advertising, so this could not be considered. If there was an amendment, as you suggested, it would require another contract.
Commission, this
So-
is, so,
I'm asking the question of the attorney.
and then I'm gonna
Hold
tell
on,
you,
Mr. Sorry.
I'm gonna tell you what the answer.
Let me get myself.
This is not a public hearing.
Let me get myself. So, the first part of this is that the contract, as I understand it, that is proposed for new business, is basically from the funding source of the economic development that would not require 772 for that. But on the other hand, I don't think we get past all the conversations we're having right now until the body decides whether it is going to do anything with getting item 53 back for consideration. So I think that depending on what you all do there is where we move forward with any further conversation.
And there's a motion, and we're waiting on the second. Have a motion, and we have a second. Mr. Stillberg, call the roll.
Commissioner Ammons,
I would abstain.
Commissioner Knight,
No.
Commissioner Scales,
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson,
Yes.
Commissioner Stevens.
No. So we have 2-2, that means it remains fair, right? Okay, so it doesn't go anywhere. So that makes everything else that was stated in this move. And now we're looking at one item of new business, which is the Alabama Department of Corrections, contraband interdiction. We have, Sheriff's representative here. Wayne, you
Yes,
want
Mr.
to
President,
say something?
I'm happy to answer any
25 words or less.
Sure, so we were requested by the Department of Corrections, this contract's been negotiated over the last several months. They just sent us this on yesterday. We just received back from them, the contract. It's set to go into effect on June the 4th. It's a 1-year contract subject to potential renewal, where we would provide up to 5 extra duty deputies. These would be deputies not, it doesn't affect our operations. These would be folks working extra duty. They would help with an contraband interdiction program at the prison in West Jefferson County. Y'all probably know they have a serious problem out there with people throwing things over the fence. They have a problem with people flying drones in and dropping contraband. So they don't have enough personnel to patrol the perimeter of their prison. So what they're asking for is us to provide up to 5 deputies per shift. It won't be, most days it'll be 1 or 2. And they will be extra duty. They'll be working extra duty in addition to their duties with us, which many deputies do, as y'all know. And so they will not go into the prison. They will not be subject to like going in and searching cells and things like that. Our folks will stay outside the perimeter or on the perimeter in the guard towers and things like that, watching for contraband to be dropped into the prison.
All right, so is that, everyone understand that, all right? If that is the case, the chair will entertain one item of new business considering a.
Well, let me ask a question.
Sure.
If I may.
Sure.
You said this thing's been in the works for months, and we get it on the day that we come in here, and you gotta have it now.
Well, the Department of Corrections sent it to us yesterday.
I understand that, but you knew about it.
I did know about it.
Okay, and we get it, and we got 5 pages here, 11 pages, and it's up to 5 deputies. There's no means by which how they're gonna be paid. Are we paying them? Are they paying them?
They're going to be paid. It's
Yeah, I get that, I'm sure that, yeah. But who pays it? And where's that coming from?
Yeah, so the payment will be made by the Department of Corrections. They will pay the sheriff's office, who will then pay them.
So they will pay them what? What
They're
is
gonna
ADOC gonna pay?
$40 an hour.
Okay. And what do they make if they're out there working per hour overtime?
It depends on.
Is it over $48 an hour?
Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not.
Okay, well.
It depends on how experienced they are.
All right, chair will entertain
Can I ask
new bit one.
another question? Sure. Even though I'm on the way out.
As long as you were good.
Yeah. To kind of follow up Commissioner Knight's question, this is a 1 year.
It's 1 year subject to renewal. Of course, they want to see how things go with the contraband interdiction, see if it really helps them. They've gotten several other counties to help them with other prisons, and it's worked really well. So
I understand the need, and I believe I understand the need, but to Commissioner Knight's point, it's like after this year, and you still need those people, and the grant doesn't come through again, then where's the revenue coming from to support that? So the commission would have to consider as more people as a budget item. That's my only concern, but I get it.
Let me add something else. So are these monies paid for, is it a grant?
And this money is coming from the Department of Corrections.
So what I would ask the commission to do is authorize the execution of this contract by the commission president, subject to my review, because in looking at this, I'm not certain that there is, I will speak with the Department of Corrections, I'm not sure that it's necessary in these circumstances for this to be signed by the commission. So if it is, I need to look in a little bit further clarification with the Department of Corrections. And since it's time sensitive, if the commission would authorize the execution of that, subject to my further review and conversation with the Department of Corrections, I'll report back to you one way or the other. But looking at this, I'm not sure that it's necessary for the commission to enter into this agreement, or well, I don't know if it's necessary.
And to further clarify that, Mr. President, we did not believe it was subject to the commission, but the DFC requested that it come before.
I understand. So let's go back.
But again,
So-
my point is we've been negotiating this months.
From what I'm reading here is that this would be equivalent to a deputy working at a grocery store or any place else. This is not anything that is funded. This is strictly the Department of Corrections.
But we don't approve of deputies working in grocery stores.
Again, so what I'm saying is that if the commission would make this approval subject to my review and consideration about whether this is in fact necessary, and I'll report back to the commission.
I put a motion on the floor to,
But we have first, we have a unanimous consent. So, you will.
Move item second, I'll be the second.
We have a motion for unanimous consent, a second. Mr. DeVarco, call the roll.
Commissioner Evans?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
Aye.
Commissioner Scales?
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson?
yes,
Commissioner Stevens?
Yes. Now we have one item, which is a memorandum of
Move the item as presented.
understanding. We have a motion subject to the,
Review.
That's why I said
Review.
move the item as presented.
so, I have a motion and a second. Mr. DeVarco, call the roll.
Commissioner Evans?
Yes.
Commissioner Knight?
I have reservations, but I'll
Love it,
defer.
hold your nose.
It's not that,
He just said subject to review.
I just said that.
What you gonna do? Thank you, you ready for me?
You rather,
Yes.
you rather make me ready.
Commissioner. All right, call the roll.
Let's do it. Yeah. Commissioner
Aye.
Evans. Commissioner Scales?
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson?
yes.
Commissioner Stevens?
Yes, thank you very much. Brings us to the end of our meeting. Commissioner, do you have anything, county manager,
No, sir.
county attorney?
All is well.
I hesitantly asked the commission, do they have anything?
We do.
Let's start with Commissioner Scales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Briefly, I just want to say congratulations to all of our graduates. By the time that we meet again, all of Jefferson County should have graduated by that point. So we got some super scholars, and we're really excited. So I know that Fairfield, Midfield, and then Birmingham City Schools will have theirs on the following week. So I want to say kudos and congratulations in that regard. Also, I know that we'll have some upcoming events that I'll be sharing with the commission about, but I'll be brief because I can tell, Mr. President, you really get out of here. And thank you.
Do that. I don't know that.
Commissioner Tyson.
Bye.
Was that a loving bye?
We know what, bye. He said you last.
He said bye. I was gonna let Steve go last.
I didn't gonna kiss you.
But, I was gonna let Steve go last.
Girl?
All right, everyone, we're gonna kind of give Steve the last say on this, because it will be the last say.
Can I jump back in there when y'all go back out?
We wish him well in his new position as he moves forward, and say a little prayer for others as he goes the same way. So I'll defer now, Commissioner Knight.
Do you have something, Tim?
I'd forgotten about the fact that Commissioner Adams was leaving, and I said I was gonna reserve anything I said until today, and I just wanted to say that, appreciate the opportunity to work with you, you've done some great things for this county, you made a peanut butter jelly sandwich, do some big things here, and, just find some more sandwich meat when you get where you're going, and don't forget us, and appreciate all the good work.
Anybody else want to take a shot at it?
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, you got it.
Stop it. I'm not gonna take a shot at it. Well, first of all, I wanna say that we started being oil and water, and we're ending being nothing more than balsamic vinegar. And I just like it,
Or grease.
whatever, but nevertheless, I'm sure you'll do very well where you are. I'm in the same, mindset of the county attorney said. You know, I just look forward to you working very intentionally with this commission. I know that you have 2 years before you can come back to us, but I just look forward to the economic development map of the county expanding into areas. I'm glad to see Mr. Brown out there, so he'll know we've been advocating for Forest there, which you and I took a ride into, and into other areas that we know is sorely needed in terms of economic development. People, they can appreciate when they realize they can pay for food, they can pay for those things that we have a tendency as a government to give away. But if you give them a job, it's kind of like when you give a man a fish. You teach him how to fish. If you give him a fish, he's going to be hungry. If you teach him how to fish, he'll be a fisherman for life. So, Steve, you haven't seen the last of me, and I'm going to be the biggest advocate. I just want all of us to have equity and inclusion across the board. And I know that a good, nice Christian young man like yourself is going to see to it that the Bible is fulfilled, the kingdom is expanded, and great things are going to happen in BDA because of your presence. And I sincerely mean that. If I didn't, I wouldn't say it. Okay.
Moving on. All right.
He's got something written.
Yeah. You came from over the mountain, from the land of Vestavia Hill, to the Jefferson County Commission, with its drama and with its thrill. You inherited a pretty good staff who helped you navigate through the agendas, backups, and show the scripts that sometimes could turn your face blue. You didn't come to my office much when you first came to the commission. It wasn't me. It was Virginia who would talk you into submission. You did your best for your district. There's no complaints that I have heard. A job well done is the common refrain from all of those that you have served. You chaired the IT committee pretty well from what I could see, but behind the curtain was a wizard, and the wizard's name was Shriek. You chaired economic development, dealt with those who select a cycle. I am not sure you ever did see a project that you did not like. The VPA has called upon you to be their captain for a while. We have every confidence that you will go that extra mile. Keep things on the up and up. Your guard down you should not let, lest you become the featured story of the Sullivan and Barnett. You are a lover of the outdoors, on a mission to get that deer. Never much luck in having the big hunt, but you made up for it, killing the beer. It's been a pleasure working with you, says Theo, Heather, Deacon, and Cal. Same for Jimmy, Miss Tyson, and Miss Scales, and I'll always call you my pal. You love being out on the road with your camper with pull-out sides, seeing the countryside of the USA, along with your beautiful bride. You're off now to new horizons, and we all do wish you well. You have cleaned out your office and left me here, stuck with Danielle. You know, I usually had one office on this commission, and they could carry it. Now we have two. Best publisher, publisher laureate. I'll put it in my book.
There we go.
Put it in your book.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Joe, and all those commissioners. I said the other day that I have a complete respect for all of you, especially you two. I'm going to point you guys out purely because of the work that you had to do to get us to where, when the three of us came on, that we didn't have as big an issues to deal with, and you guys dealt with some big issues. And I'll always be grateful for the work that you did and the work that you guys will continue to do together. I appreciate, and I don't want to call anybody out, but you guys know who you are, just by looking at you and knowing that I appreciate you, and hopefully in the long run we built relationships, not just a working relationship, but a relationship, because that's what it's about. And bringing Carrington up, he told me when I came on the Vestavia City Council, he told me I got to read this book called The Speed of Trust, the one thing that changes everything. And now I handed out it in leadership classes with the staff to make sure that they read, because the speed of trust is the one thing that changes everything. DBA staff will soon. So how much I appreciate each and every one of you. I can't say it in words, but hopefully you guys know over the last 4.5 years what you mean to me and what we've been able to do. And it's bittersweet for me. I'm not crying. I have a corneal abrasion, so please don't mistake. Please accept this eye as I got to go to the doctor here very, very, very soon. My dad brought us here in 1978 to be the director of budget management, and so running up and down these hallways on Saturday when my dad would have to come to work during the summer, make sure that budget was ready, and to see the pictures of Chris Doss and David Orange and Ben Erdrich and all of those that were around when my dad was here. It's a throwback and remembering him.
I'll give you a hug.
Don't cry.
Remembering my dad is my parents, since they saw me come here and they're not able here to see me. Yesterday, one of the great leaders from this region was laid to rest, Dr. Harry Reeder. He was a great teacher, a great leader, and a great teacher of leadership across many different cultures, and was just an absolute great man. And I introduced him a number of times to speak at Rotary. And the one time that I introduced him, I probably gushed on about him, that he said that more people would consider this man a politician, pointing to me. And he says, I consider him a statesman. I hope I've conducted myself as a statesman. And although we haven't always agreed, I hope I've maintained myself like that, something that Dr. Reeder and my parents would be proud of. So I leave behind good people. You got to deal with her. The poem was very, very appropriate. And again, I appreciate each and every one.
Steve, thank you. We appreciate that. We do have one other item that Sheriff Petway came in, and he wanted to give an update on a project he has ongoing. So Sheriff Petway, would you like to come up and to the microphone and address the commission concerning that? And when that is over, we will recess until further notice.
Good morning. President Stevens, Commissioners, Sheriff Petway. Delighted to do for you this morning, give you an update on some equipment, some property we have at the Academy. We have barracks at the Academy, dormitories in which we house our recruits for classes. And we're the only Sheriff's Academy in the state of Alabama. We're the only Reserve Academy in the state of Alabama. And as a Reserve Academy, we have both deputy sheriffs and police officers that go through the academy on the weekend, and they're all using our barracks during the week and on the weekend. We have lost about 30% of our barracks, which means that we're not able to house as many people as we were able to house in the past. That's a significant loss to us to be able to continue what we're doing at our facility. These deputies come from all over the state of Alabama. They come from as far as Mobile all the way up to Huntsville, to the Academy. And we have to house them during the week. and we wanna make sure that we have adequate housing for them. Lately, just found out that we lost 4 more dormitories because the air conditioners are not working. Right now, we need to have air conditioners working because we're going into the summertime. I'm asking that we, would have these, dormitories replaced with something that's more adequate, for the recruits that are coming in. We also are looking to have a space for the instructors. We have now partnerships with many different teaching facilities that are coming out to the range to teach, and we're excited about it because they're teaching about crisis intervention. They're teaching. We brought Lexi in, who's teaching all kind of law enforcement training at the academy. So we need to have these dormitories in place. And I would invite you and I encourage you to come on out to look at the dormitory, to see what type of damage, the loss that we have out there, to see the need that we have to replace the dormitories. And we can do it as early as today. And I invite you to come out and see what needs to be replaced.
Sure, appreciate it. That's something that we've been working on. We've been working with the county manager and, to allocate funds for that idea. I guess to go over this with permission one more time, you had asked for a $5 million for this, and that you would be able to fund the additional monies needed after that $5 million. Is that still correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So
Do we have any structure plans or?
we do.
We do. We have structural plans. Don't have it with me today, but I can see your copy of the structural plans.
We have the county manager has a copy of it, and also the architectural.
That's correct.
So we have, I think, what we need. We're now looking for the particular funding source.
That's correct.
And having been in contact with the county manager, we may do that over a 2-year period. Because if you were to go wide open right now, you would not be able to expend that entire amount of money. So, between now and the end of the fiscal year. So
Let me ask a question, Mr. President.
let me finish and then you can.
Okay,
I would like to give the county manager, and I don't see finance in here, but is that what we talked about? And the plans that we had discussed with the commission?
Yes, sir. The time he got his plan refreshed and advertised for bids and awarded the contractor, we getting close to the next budget year, so I would guess $1 million, $1.5 million would get it started, and then when we work with him on the budget to fund the other $3.5 to $4 million, then he won't, it won't slow the project down.
And we do need to work with some kind of an agreement with the understanding on the additional funding source of that and how that would be paid to the completion of the project. Now, Commissioner Scott.
thank you, sir. So let me ask this question, Chair, 2 questions for you. One is the time sensitivity. Sounds when you say 30% that you're losing as a result of the issues that you all are encumbering. So is this time sensitive for us?
It is somewhat time sensitive. We do have other sheriff's offices that are trying to develop an academy of their own, and we don't want them to be able to compete with us. We want to make sure that we remain the only sheriff's academy here in the state of Alabama. We have great instructors. We have a great facility, and we want to maintain what we have out there. So we want to make sure that everybody continues to come to the sheriff's office that we have here for training.
So if you had to quantify 30% in terms of numbers, approximately, not exactly, but approximately, how many would you say that would be?
Well, we were initially able to hold about 50. Now we're down to about 30. And we can easily have 20 of our own in the academy. And that could really put a crunch on inviting other sheriff's officers here to have their recruits to stay at the academy.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, I'm hearing this $5 million, and obviously you're in some sort of consultation with, I perceive, some sort of engineering firm or whoever's that's gonna help to try to, construct this project. That being said, with the information that you've received, are you of the opinion that you all do not need all of this money, or are you in agreement with, the portion in which the county manager has mentioned to us, as it relates to paying a portion now and subsequently, moving forward with installments later?
Now, what we have is an estimated cost, and that estimated cost came in from last year. And cost of building has gone up and down from that point in time. And I cannot tell you where we are right now as far as cost of building a facility which we're trying to build right now. Hopefully costs will continue to go back down and we'll get back into the $5 million range, but I cannot give you a total cost right now.
Well, well then let me restate it. Would you be of the opinion that you perceive that you all wouldn't expend $5 million if granted within 1 year, one fiscal year?
That is correct. It could easily cost us $5 million to build the structure that we're looking to build.
Okay, because I noticed you shook your head in the reverse, like, no, that's not true. So that's why I'm asking for the record that you are of the opinion that in one fiscal year, you all can spend $5 million on this project in order to complete it, so that you're operational. Is that right?
We'd like for the project to be done within a year's time. If it is done within a year's time, we would spend over probably $5 million or over $5 million.
Now you understand that we only have about 4 months left in this fiscal year.
That's correct.
So there's no way, is there any way you can complete it in that period of time?
No, we won't even get,
So that goes back to what he was saying. We will get you the part of the money this year that you will expend through that and be able to put the additional monies in the budget for next year for you to finish expending that. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
So, Mr. President.
June, July,
It'll be on the
August,
next
September.
agenda schedule.
So, Mr. President, let me be clear. I've said this before, I'm extremely articulate. My question was, in one fiscal year, could you expend $5 million? Not you working on this year's fiscal budget. I understood budgeting before I got here. Nobody has to teach me that, so I'm not saying that to you, I'm saying that on this basis. That's why I asked. If that's not the case, then fine, say it for the record. If it is the case, then we can proceed with that understanding. So I know what a fiscal year budget is. I'm well versed in that. I just want to make sure that if you make a statement that says that it cannot be done or spent within that 1 year period of time, then I want to hear what that is, and I want to hear that directly from the person who's presenting the project. Okay? Now, if you tell me that, Mr. President, that we can do a portion now with the understanding that we would look to put it in the budget, but still, if it's $1.5 million, then I look forward to seeing $3.5 million in this upcoming budget. That's all what I'm saying. I'm just seeking to get an understanding. That's what articulateness will do for you. If you have an understanding, you have the intelligence to be able to ask the question that you're seeking to get the response from. Okay? So, thank you.
Mr. Chair, man, please. How many classes do you have each year?
Can I chime in on that question? So, right, we run 3 basic classes every year, 16 weeks each, 35 to 40 cadets in each class. Last year, we had 106 people start. We had 80 people finish. 26 people did not complete the course, weren't able to get APO certified. We had 80 folks to finish. Of those 80 that finished, 33 are now Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies, 47 work in 25 other sheriff's offices around the state.
So the retention is, what's that percentage?
Now, that is just the,
That's just the full APO 16-week class.
right. We have other classes that go on daily out there.
I understand, but you're not housing people daily.
We do.
We do.
We do. We have to, so on the weekends, every other weekend, we're housing reserve folks there. So there are 35 folks going through reserve training right now because we have the only reserve training. We're the only people willing to keep ours open on the weekends. So we have 35 people who are either reserve police officers or reserve deputies from all around the state that come every other weekend, and those folks use the dorms all the time. We also have some advanced training classes where we have to use dorms. We had 6,694 different law enforcement officers attend various training classes last year. Obviously, many of those did not use the dorms.
How many of those 6,600 trainees are now working
For us,
this year?
We don't have a department that size. I'd love to have a department that size.
so about all of our 550 folks have attended at least one class there.
Okay, but I'm just looking for a yearly average of how many we train and we stay and become part of your department. That's all.
The answer for last year is 33 that went through
Okay.
and became new sheriff's deputies in our department, in our office, 47 in other offices around the state.
And we have mandatory training, in the spring and in the fall. Those at least 8 hours in the spring, 8 hours in the fall, to make sure they get their CEUs, which are required 12 hours of CEUs. So we make sure that in the fall they have 8 hours, and in the spring they have 8 hours.
Now, I'm sure it's kind of like when you house somebody got to go in there and clean up after, because I'm not sure all these deputies are pristine clean. Like somebody got to go in there.
Quite sure they're not.
Well, we don't have a clean.
Is that included in your 5 million, or is that going to be something?
No, it's not. We don't have a cleaning staff. They're required to make sure they, clean their barracks themselves. They have to have them clean every Friday, because on Saturday we have the reserve academy that comes in on Saturday and Sunday.
And how do we feed those folks?
We feed them from, the kitchen that we have over at the jail. Food is brought out to them 3 times a day.
I know this has been a long project, because we're going to get it done.
Thank you.
We need some new facilities.
And I still would
What
invite
piece
you to come out and, view the barracks, to, see what condition they're in. And,
Do y'all have a simulated jail out there where you can lock somebody up and get a handcuff?
no, we do not.
Okay.
All right, thank you, my friend, we appreciate you.
Thank you,
And
Mr. President.
we'll work with him, will you work with the county manager, please, to get what he needs to, county manager, we need to have something on the next agenda for that.
Sheriff, just real quick, we had a new issue came in here today, kind of at the last minute, about the Department of Corrections. We're going to supply some people out there.
Let me explain, the cooperation that we have with the, Department of Corrections. They have an issue out there with contraband, been brought into the facility. Most of the contraband is left inside the yard. Our role is that we will have deputies stationed around the, facility on the outside to, monitor anyone coming through, making sure that there is no contraband, being tossed over into the yard. Now, they are looking to pay our deputies, through reimbursement, but that's coming through payroll. So we're not making any money off of it. The deputies that are working will get paid, through payroll, and the state will reimburse that money for, those deputies that are working out there through contract.